My name is Moon Petrie, and I am late to the discussion on this one, but I did not want to say nothing about the issues with the NaNoWriMo organization that occurred or were uncovered during this past November. I also have not said anything about how things went for me for Nano this year, so I will also be addressing that. Importantly, though, check out these earrings that my husband gave me. It is the cat from Coraline. So I am deeply saddened when stuff affects a community that has meant a lot to me and to a lot of other people. And, anytime in life when we see that people will use opportunities, will use power, will use platforms in order to be abusive or hurtful, or to espouse hateful views, just really sucks every time that stuff infiltrates a community that has had so much positivity for so many people. And it's very hard not to go to a space of, well, everything will suck. Everything probably sucks underneath, and we just haven't spotted it yet. It's very hard not to go to that mental space about things like this. But I'm trying. I'm trying not to. So here's my perspective. First, I know that sometimes a person who is directly affected, for whom something is really personal or really triggering, I absolutely understand that rather than like, you should stick around, you should try to make the community better, how can we do better if all the people who really care, flee when things go wrong. Sometimes you just can't. Sometimes something hits really hard and you have to step away, or you have to move on from a community entirely. And I want to honor that and make space for that. I have had this experience in the past with a community that must not be named, that I have had to just let go of entirely, and that's brutal. And nobody is taking that lightly. Nobody who chose to close down their NaNoWriMo account did that without thinking, without taking serious pause, and truly feeling that that is the decision that they needed to make. And so I absolutely want to honor that. For me, that is not the decision that I need to make personally. I will continue to participate in NaNoWriMo events. I will continue to offer support in the way that I can, which is buying merch and talking to people about it. And here's why. I feel that when there are serious problems, it's so important for them to be adequately addressed. And in order to do that, in order to enact the safety procedures and better practices that the NaNoWriMo organization says that they want to enact, that takes resources. And things like background checks, things like greater oversight are expensive. And as the organization has grown so dramatically in recent years, the needs just have outstripped the capacity. And to me, that looks like they need more resources. As a nonprofit organization, it is really important when they do need to do more, when they do need to do better. They can't just not give their CEOs bonuses this year or something. They need grassroots support. So that is my reason for continuing to participate, continuing to support the organization. I believe that with sufficient support, they do have the intentions of making things better. And it is also up to us who do feel able to stick around to hold them accountable and make sure that the changes do happen, and to communicate with each other about how things are going and whether we're seeing the improvements that we need in order to continue to invest in and feel safe in the community. So that is my take on the whole NaNoWriMo situation. With regard to my personal NaNoWriMo 2023 experience, it was not great. Obviously, I was very sick. I was dealing with kids being very sick. It was just one thing after another, so it was going to be a challenge anyway. I write blog posts about HVAC, plumbing, and electrical systems for work Monday through Wednesday or Monday through Thursday. And shifting gears is not the easiest thing in the world. And I think that's true for most, if not all people. And I think it's especially true for some of us. So, like writing a blog post during the day and then trying to work on, and it was revision that I was trying to work on in the evening. No, so I was trying to cram in all my blog work in as little of the week as possible so that I have the rest of the week to work on revision. I did have some very cool experiences, like working on a scene about a crow and I was sitting right by this window and had a crow land right outside the window and just sort of like walk around looking, extremely self-satisfied as they do, as I was writing this very pivotal scene with a crow. So that was cool. I would cram in all my work and then try to work on this book, my spooky middle grade, for the rest of the week. Shifting gears from the blog writing nonfiction to fiction is a challenge. Shifting gears to revision in that way, it's just a very different sort of brain space. That was enough. Like, that felt like enough of a challenge for me. And adding the word count worry on top of that was counterproductive for me. I found myself writing stuff I didn't need to. I ended up doing some brainstorming for a whole other idea, just because I could get a lot of words quickly. Revising during NaNo events is never ideal. This was my first time revising during actual November NaNo. And I will not do that again. And I just had to step back and say, worrying about word count is not making this book better. It is making it harder for me to make this book better. So I stopped tracking my words altogether. So that it was an unsatisfying NaNo in so many ways. So that's my story. The book still needs work, and I have some fun ideas and plans on how I'm going to motivate and accomplish a lot with that. I have to get the details sorted out and I will get back to you, but I have some fun thoughts. Until next time, I am Moon Petrie, and I hope your new year is going well, and that if you got any cool presents from anyone who loves you, that you are enjoying them tremendously.